Hello, everybody. Welcome to Anime Sicko's podcast. It's the podcast for geniuses and the only podcast. On Anime Sicko's podcast, we look at the four pillars of modern misery: anime, gaming, posting, and jobs. I am Tom, an Anime Sicko.
And I am Riley, an Anime Sicko.
This is an episode that was brainstormed out with Joe, but he couldn't be here because of all the fucking problems that he's been having that you are well aware of. So we figured this is sort of tailor-made for Riley to add their expertise to. Expertise that I think few have.
It's you presented this to me and I was extremely excited. I recently did the math and I think I have been podcasting for a decade, which is so sad.
And here's the thing, folks. I don't know if Riley means, and both of them seem plausible to me, that they've been podcasting since 2015, or the amount of elapsed time of all of your released podcasts is a decade. Both of those could be.
It's actually really funny to imagine, okay, if you broke off everything and then we're like, all right, one episode a week, how long does that follow? Would be crazy, because there was a month in December where I released an episode every day for Never Believe It, which is crazy. We didn't release anything for 5 months and then just said, hello, here's all of December, you fucks.
Jesus Christ, that's so fucking funny.
It's far too high concept, but it ruled.
I mean, here's the thing, and we'll get to that. That's what we should be doing, and that should be a protected right, because what we're going to get into is, as you probably saw by the title of the podcast, the Podcaster's Bill of Rights that we are going to be introducing to the world. But before we do that, I have some bookkeeping that I must do. First of all, we have new patrons who are patronizing us on patreon.com/animesickos. They get such benefits as early release of episodes, and you can listen to Tom's Record Club, our music podcast. We made one public. Go listen to that one about the black metal album Bergtat by Over. I like it more now than I did at the time of recording. I still am a metal agnostic, but it's interesting. But we got a lot of them. And you can hear them if you give us $5. And such people who have given us $5 are, oh gosh, I don't know how to pronounce this one. Is this the name of that clothing company that everyone hates? Shein.
I've never said that out loud.
It's SHIEN. I think the one that everyone hates is SHEIN.
I think it's a Sheen either way. I think that's where you'd swing with that.
So this is not the clothing company everyone hates. This is a person everybody loves named Sheen. And next one, speaking of something everyone hates, stink lines. Yucky. No, thank you, Stink Lines, for giving us $5. It really means a lot. Sorry, I said everyone hated you. But
their name is Stink Line. They came in here prepared for that.
Patreon doesn't fill that out for you. You have to type that out. Next patron is, I'm going to pronounce it Chris, but it's spelled in a badass cyber way, which is XRIS.
Oh, that's absolutely Chris, but that rules. That rules.
I mean, Chris jacks into the net. Chris has a deck. Chris has a Sandevistan. This is all so real to me. Thank you, Chris, for your $5. And then, of course, our final new patron is Sabrina Steele. Sabrina is a longtime Anime Sicko's Discord user who has admitted that they have patronized us to hear more Record Club, which, oh my God, it's happening.
People care about your music takes. Where is the Tom music from 2025 top 5?
It's REM, King Crimson replacements, 2 others. It's exactly what you think, motherfucker. Also, we must call out Joe and I are guest stars in a sketch comedy podcast. The episode which we are in just came out yesterday. Well, I'm talking, of course, about the Field Trip Sketch Comedy Presents podcast. That's Field Trip Sketch Comedy Presents. We're in episode 3. I'm now going to read some of the talking points that have been provided to me by the people behind the Field Trip Sketch Comedy Presents podcast. Why? Because I promised I would. Field Trip Sketch Comedy Presents is an unrepentantly silly, fast-paced sketch comedy podcast by Boston-based sketch comedy group Field Trip, featuring comedy that's so dumb it's smart and so smart it's dumb. Now, I like this because they told us that I don't want to say entirely, but at least part of the reason they decided let's do a sketch comedy podcast was Oops, All Sketches too, which had a lot of dumb comedy. So like, I'm glad that like, that's a good flavor. Each episode of the podcast revolves around a different theme, whether it be exploring how to expand your social circle, taking a trip through the human body, Fantastic Voyage style, or even venturing into the spooky locale of Threadville, town of 1,000 abandoned quarries, featuring hilarious writing, polished performances, and I know that's true because me and Joe were in it. Beautiful music. I don't know that's true. I take their word for it. I didn't hear it yet. And sound design. And 4 fools clearly delighting in each other's company. The episodes are bi-weekly. The one we're in just released. It was episode 3. And you can learn more. Follow them at Field Trip Sketch on Instagram, Bluesky, Tumblr, and YouTube. Not on Twitter because they're moral. And the people behind it are Laura Donovan, Jamie Juveler, Max Kreisky, and Evan Starr, with music and sound designed by June Eisenhart. That's Field Trip Sketch Comedy Presents, the podcast. We're in it. The sketch we did, Joe and I, we did it. We didn't write it. It was written for us, but we did it. It was fucking funny. It's good. I'm excited to hear it, like, done.
The thing I have to hold in my brain at all times is if TV is too cowardly to show sketch comedy that is good, then the mighty podcast is where it must reign, and I am glad that people are doing it.
It's so real. Like it's when we started doing sketches for Anime Sickos, it was unreal how like seamless the format is. It's like, oh fuck, like this is how come there aren't 1,000 sketch comedy podcasts. And then I remembered it's because it's fucking hard to write these things. I don't know how the Field Trip crew has 6 episodes of sketches to write. That's incredible.
That's genuinely so much. That's so much.
Unbelievable. Check it out. It's good shit. So it's interesting that you talk about the podcaster being a noble person. Because that leads into what we're going to be talking about for the meat of the episode. Because we're done with the bookkeeping stuff. I hated all that. I was totally lying about. I hate all those people. And I didn't like doing it. These days, Riley, have you noticed this? These days, they expect us to take all sorts of indignities. Just generally, not even about specific things.
They push us into the dirt. They knock us around. I every day I'm beset upon by 10,000 small little problems that are then followed by 10,000 medium and then 10,000 long. And I'm beat into the dirt and I'm tired of it, Tom. I'm fucking tired.
Being in the dirt sucks so fucking bad. Every day I'm going around, every day and people walk up to me and you know they do this. They say, Tom, here's what they say. They say, I hate you and I don't respect you, and I'm gonna lay 3,000 indignities upon you. Did I say that? I meant 30,000. And right. I just take a guess of how I'm gonna proportion them into small, medium, and large versions equally, motherfucker. Yes, it's just how it is. We all know this.
There's one group that's beset upon by them more than any other fucking group, and that is the podcaster.
The noble podcaster. We do everything for you fucking people. We lay down our lives for you. And what do we get in return? We get fucking spat on and ground in the dirt like a bug. And that's why I think we're like Martin Luther. We're nailing this to the door of the internet. And this is just how it's going to be from now on.
This is a new standard. This is a new ground floor that everyone can agree on. And by that, I mean, we can agree on and everyone else will be held to.
Yeah. I mean, if you listen to Anime Sickos before, sort of one of our main jokes is to just say that things are legitimate and pretend like they are. And we're not doing that this time. This one's real. I'm not joking, and I haven't said anything in jest this entire time. I've been fully sincere since the very first. No,
I just get nervous when I laugh. That's all that is. None of these are jokes.
Here's the thing about being a podcaster specifically. Well, there's a lot of things that there are 30,000 indignities a day, as we all know. But one of the big ones is that this medium is becoming. I think it has been about like 90% grifters. It's become like 100% an informational / edutainment growth hacking thing, which like we are making this stand today that like that's done.
Yeah, they're over. No one listened to those already. They just somehow were recorded, were released, and then in a cycle got turned into money for them somehow. And I don't know how they did that. I want to learn, but they're done. They're out of here.
They're done. We need to change the paradigm. Right now, if your coworker says, I love podcasts, let me tell you about the podcasts I listen to. What they mean is like The Daily or Smarter Every Day or Der Obergruppenführer's Genocide Hour or something like that. These are not the kind of podcasts I respect. These are not real podcasters. This is why we need to codify what this is all about. Because currently, I mean, Riley, you saw the Golden Globe nominees for Best Podcast.
I did. I try not to let awards things bother me as somebody who never will win one. However,
never will win one. Now give me
one.
Give me the fucking prize for most spicy arrabbiata. Oh,
they had never let an Italian like me win a fucking podcast award.
Is that why I haven't? Is that why we're fucking plateaued, dude? Is it because I'm Italian? I'm gonna fucking flip my shit. Well, that doesn't make sense because Joe's always talking about little shittily. So we got the anti-Italian racism baked in. So we should be like Colden. We should be awash on that.
That can't be it. Then. Damn it! I thought I had it all these years. I'm looking at these Golden Globes list again. I had to bring it up again. It feels to me like when you ask somebody their favorite food and they respond spaghetti, and that's it.
Again, anti-Italian discrimination.
Like, what the fuck is this? Like, there are some of these shows that, sure, I've heard. I at least know of them. I know of the celebrity shows like Smartless. I know Pod Save America exists. I don't know what it actually does. There's the Grifter podcast on here. And then there's also Bill Simmons on here, who I think is like kind of universally disliked by everybody.
He's like sports adjacent. I don't really know this guy. And yes, the every time I hear him referenced, it cements it in my mind. Don't learn about this fucking guy. Don't.
He just likes the Celtics and he's annoying. That's really all Bill Simmons brings to the table.
I mean, being annoying, that's a huge thing. I mean, that's one of the rights that podcasters should have. Maybe we'll tack that on at the end of the Bill of Rights because being annoying is so fun. But like, you got the Ben Shapiro show and the Megyn Kelly show and the Tucker Carlson show. Again, Der Obergruppenführer's Genocide Hour. Like that's normal to be on the Golden Globe. And like, yes, we're never going to win an award. We know that. But like that this is even that this is happening at all is an indignity to us. And so that's what we're trying to stop.
It feels absurd because it feels like far beyond the point where like some of these podcasts exist on what I can only assume are like the Truth Social RSS feeds that are so far removed from anything you or I will ever touch. I'm like, how did they get into the hands of the Golden Globe nominee list? Yeah. To which, they are listening to them. I understand.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you have a good point. I don't know why I even...
They open up their podcatcher.
I wasn't doing that to like go along with to like yes and your bit. I was like, how did they find out? Oh, because they're evil.
They opened up their podcatcher of choice, which is iTunes, and then they scrolled and they said, okay, yeah, that's the 10 I have. And they put them in there.
Oh, God. Anyway, so obviously you can see why this is a needed document, this Bill of Rights. We don't need to belabor that point anymore. It's very clear. Let's go on to the First Amendment of podcasters. I think this is so real and so critical. No video ever. Yes. Ever. You can't. A podcast cannot have a video component. Video is a tool of the enemy. I do not want to see three guys in a Brooklyn apartment holding microphones in their hands as they sit on various couches. I want to hear their little jokes. I do not want to see their hands holding microphones.
And these things have gotten popular in like TikTok, in this like, hey, you're gonna watch 30 seconds of something before swiping away. And the worst part of this, Andrew and I came to this a while ago, Tom, and I don't know if you've come to the same realization. Some of these are fake podcasts that just use the structure of a podcast to format their joke. They're like, you don't even sit down and record.
Dude, yes. Okay, it's like how after The Office, there's just a new type of sitcom where there are confessionals, even though it's not a documentary being filmed.
Yes.
And even in The Office, the fact that there was still a documentary being filmed really beggared belief after a couple seasons, and it was just like, okay, this is getting ridiculous. But like I noticed this, like, and I like Parks and Rec, but like in the middle of that series, I was just like, what is happening when they're talking to me? Like, what is
the format? Like, does everyone get a Shakespearean monologue? Like, does the spotlight hit them on the stage? At some points, it'd be less weird than a personal interview.
And I understand why they do it, because, you know, it's something that you recognize from The Office, and also it is the easiest way to do a joke. You know, it's just I have a joke and I hold it up in front of your face and I go, okay, moving on. And I respect that, because I too like to be lazy. But like, there's a level of laziness that is unacceptable. And the fucking fake podcast where it's just like, I want to say some fucking Nazi shit. How do I package it? Oh, I'll be talking in a microphone to someone else who goes, and then it'll seem smart, because podcast is the edutainment grifting thing. No, it's not. Fuck you.
Now, Tom, the podcast, there are podcasts I like that do video, though. What happens to them in this new world?
Well, I'm not saying that these are evil people. I'm saying these are good people who are being forced to do a bad thing by an evil meta. Hate the game, not the player. They're the ones who need the Bill of Rights more than anyone.
You're so right. We need to be looking out for them. That is a good point. I did not think about the fact that they're simply working the dog shit. They're trying to turn it into diamonds.
I mean, there's so many things that are evil about the video, and obviously the main one is that if the need for video just means that you are locking people into insular platforms, your TikToks and your YouTubes that are much more algorithmically driven, whereas a podcast, that's sort of in the ether. It's on an RSS feed. You can listen to that however you want and whenever you want. And it's not algorithmic unless you have like a fucking podcatcher that has one. I don't know. But it's not necessarily built into it. But when you do that, when you do have video and you're putting it on the video platforms are algorithmic. They are going to fuck your brain up. And I don't like that. But also, even worse is what if you fucking look like shit, dude? I look like shit like every day. Like, it takes effort for me to look good, and I don't want to do it. Like, right now,
I already spent all the money on the microphone. Now you're asking me to spend money on a high quality camera and a lighting setup? Are you fucking kidding me?
Oh, actually, I'll take that back, because I forgot that the joke, the bit that I was going to do is that Anime Sickos did a video pilot once. We were too hot, and everyone who we showed it to hurt their hand trying to reach into the screen. So actually, that last bit was a joke. This one's real. That's the real thing. Also, you can't cut shit out from a video. Like, you can't cut the ums and ahs, because then you're jumping all over the place.
Well, people do, because then they have the multi-camera. They have it set up like a sitcom in there, right? They have like 3 cameras going, and they use those to hide the cuts. Like, I've thought about it. I've done the like, how does this work, right? How do you set up your space for a video podcast? Not because I know anyone in my area who I would podcast with, but simply because I'm just like, what is the function of doing it this way, where it is the like comedian here, or whatever, right? And like, or even worse than any of these is the fucking the random guy on the subway ones. Have you seen these?
Oh yes, it sucks. I hate those.
These drive me crazy, because it's somebody with a tiny little Rode Wireless Go and someone sitting across them. First off, if anyone talks to me on a subway or a bus, I will explode. I'll light on fire in the room in front of you. That's just going to happen. But the idea of like, now you are intruding on everyone's space, and you are asking this person that you randomly found on a subway. Oh, never mind. No, it's another famous comedian. Yes, I understand. This was happenstance, I'm led to believe. And it just asked them 2 minutes of questions, vanish. That drives me crazy. And that's a video that is the worst thing you can do, which is be perceived by others in public. and they still hide their cuts in there because you can cut out the ums and ahs. We'll get into the ums and ahs later on in this procedure here. I have thoughts on this, but I am with you on an anti-video step for podcast. It should be nowhere near it.
Well, you better, because it's the First Amendment, and if you were fucking up my ass on this, we would have trouble for the rest. But telling me about the multi-camera setup, that's got me puking. Because Riley, you know me, you know I strive to make an excellent product when I podcast. Yes. You know that when I've done my audio dramas, you know I strive to do the utmost to make those.
Recording good. With you was the first time I recorded in a physical studio.
To me, setting up multiple cameras and editing through 3 video feeds for 3 hosts is a level of effort that is like insulting to me. That any one of my peers would be asked to do that.
Yeah.
Like, how dare you?
Because when you watch, because again, I try to watch them to figure out what's going on there. Because I too had the thought of like, this is pretty quick, and I listened to podcasts with silences turned off, like just like joke after joke after joke, because I'm diseased. But someone will finish a sentence and it will cut to another camera frame of the person listening where they will then respond like a television show or what have you. But you know that is where they have done the work of cutting out the ums, ahs, ifs, ands, or buts, all that stuff, which drives me crazy because it should be stuttery. Because your video thing, they already had video podcasts. They were called vlogs, and they existed, and they had a place. And there you could be stuttery, you could be weird, you could talk to your camera. It just doesn't belong here.
It doesn't. And I think the thing that you mentioned vlogs, and you mentioned, I'm thinking back to the fucking like people holding lav mics up to strangers genre. Hate that shit. The thing that really steams me is that when you add video into this, those people become like our peers. They too are considered podcasters. They don't do anything like what we do. We do noble stuff that makes the world better, and they are devilish sinners. So
our beautiful conversation with our friends, their horrible, offensive attacking you on the street.
Yes. Our noble RSS feed MB3, their awful TikTok video. Unbelievable. No video ever. If you are a podcaster who's like, oh, but I like putting video components in.
That's the devil. You have to break that. You have to break the cop in your mind. You don't need video elements.
You will learn. You will see the light when you take our medicine.
And I never want to be in a situation where I'm like, audio listeners aren't going to see this joke. I don't. That right there.
Awful.
You're on the audio medium. You're in my house.
I've talked about this in the past, but there's the live album for Kate Bush's second tour that she did, I think, in like 2011 or something. And she's only toured twice because she's like, when I tour, it has to be like a big fucking, like, it's not just me playing music. That's boring. It's like a production with like a story. And there are times in the album where nothing is happening especially unusually musically, but the entire audience gasps. And I'm just like, I bet something really cool was happening on stage. I'll never know. Anyway, the Second Amendment of the Podcaster's Bill of Rights. You can have a gun. You can
makes sense.
Those are allowed.
That just makes sense. Yeah. Tom, I've been watching a lot of Northern Lion recently because I too see the bald man on Blue Sky and go, I like him. And so I've been watching compilations of his, and I have been watching one where he had like food poisoning, which then escalated to like salmonella or a bunch of other stuff. And the way this guy's chat talks to him is how like I feel like everyone who creates content should be able to not only mute and block, but there should be a third option, that is black bag them and take them away to a desert island where they can be hunted for sport. Because I think some people are just a little too off base to continue talking to.
I mean, personally, I think that the fact that he was even doing this labor in such a state, I think that's a violation of his rights that we will get to in this very document. But I definitely agree that you should have a gun and you should be able to use it on the hated listeners if they fucking bug you.
The much beloved listeners. It's kind of like how the worst thing in life you could be is a customer.
Yes. Oh my God. This is why, dude, I still bring up your retail rating system where every person who comes into a store starts out as a 0, and that's the best thing they could possibly be. If they do nice things and say nice things and have positive interactions, their number goes up, and if they're evil and stupid, their number goes down into the negatives. But like, even a positive interaction, a 0 would be preferable because it's no interaction.
Yes, it is footsteps on the moon. You are gone. You are out of my day.
I was so fucking happy to hear that, because I'm just like, that has been my philosophy like my whole life, which is just like just whoosh, in and out. When I'm in a big line, dude, and there's like people who are doing an insane thing and like taking forever and like discussing and having like arguments and like asking questions and follow-ups, the only thing in my mind is like, wait till it's my turn and I'm done in 15 seconds. Ugh.
When I did retail, that was the nicest thing in the world. When you had a maniac, they left, you breathed, the person came up and was like, 1 bag of dog food, please. And then, okay, thanks. Sorry about that guy. And then left. It's like, boom, that's it. That's all I need. That is the beauty of life.
Yeah. God damn.
And then I forgot their face. All right, we agree on Amendment 2. Amendment 2, solid, blocked, easy peasy.
Yeah. Amendment 3, skits required by law. Good thing we just had that sketch comedy plug. Field Trip Sketch Comedy Presents podcast, in fact. I know that usually rights are like protective and don't demand that you actively do things, but this is our bill, so
it's a prerequisite. And I guess this is kind of where I want to slow down and go over some of the details of this, right? Because I guess to you, what is a skit? Like, how broad are we getting? I have done many a podcast that is me doing too much to deal physical harm onto my listener. And there's some of those that I go, that's kind of a skit. But I guess I want to hear from you as the person who put this on the board.
That's a great question. I think that what defines a skit is there has to be a plan in advance. And I'm not saying that you have to necessarily script it out, but like if you are doing perhaps one of the most loathsome podcaster things, which is you're sort of talking about political news and you say like a funny sort of crude sort of like randy sentence, and then you start saying it in a Trump voice and start taking on the crazy Trump persona, and someone else becomes like Sleepy Joe and is like, that's not a skit. Sorry, that's riffing. That is an impromptu improv riff. That's not a skit. A skit needs to be planned in advance. And I know what you're saying. If you are a prospective podcaster or current podcaster and you're hearing this and you say, but Tom, I don't have any ideas for skits. Well, we don't either. That doesn't stop us yet.
And this idea, this frame of reference that you've given me does help explain, does help give shape to, like, yes, a skit is that writing it out, or it is also having the seed. You come and going, I'm going to do something weird today, and this is it. This is almost more of a less of a required by law skits and more of it is required to do something fucking weird.
Yes.
Well, Riley, people have to look at it and be like, I don't like that.
You're right, and that will be further addressed in another amendment. But
you're right.
I'm going to push back on you trying to generalize Amendment 3. Amendment 3 is very specific. Skits are required. Not weird things. Weird things will come later, and they're also required. But you got to have skits. That's just
okay.
That's just my feelings.
This is good. No, and this is good. This is why a bill has to have debate over it. You know what I mean? We have to talk this kind of thing out. And I think this was good. You clarified. You made sense. I think I do agree with you. Skits are required by law. I think I can see this whole coming out.
Yeah, I think the minimum amount of planning that is required for a skit to be a skit is, before you begin, there must be an agreement with all parties what like the scene is. I don't necessarily even think you have to assign characters, but you have to agree what the scene is, and there has to be a punchline already. You have
the end point.
Because if you don't have the end point, you're doing an improv riff. And you can have an improvised sketch, but you need to have the punchline for it to be a skit, you know?
Mm-hmm. You have to have the front door and the back door. That makes total sense. That, I think, gives plenty of time, because it's important. You don't want to be stuck in an improv riff and not have a way out. You know what I mean? It's important to have that way out, and that is what the skit provides. I see your reasoning. I think I agree with you. I was wrong to question you. You were right. I'm wrong.
Yes. And I will say also that you don't necessarily, I'm not saying you have to make good skits. You can have the ending of your skit be someone pulls out a gun and gets shot every time. Like that'll always work. Won't necessarily be the best possible ending, but it will work.
There are some instances in which it is.
Yeah. And refer to the Second Amendment. You've got a gun. So one.
You have it. You can just do it.
Yeah, no effort required. It's gonna be fine. All right. Amendment number 4, and this one is very important, especially considering that you're going to be doing skits. Everyone has to agree not to make fun of you.
Yes, I think this is one of the purest forms of protection we can offer, and one of the biggest shows of podcasters as an oppressed class. Easy to mock. You know how many times I have to listen to what do they call 4 guys in their 20s a podcast? That's great. I understand you think that's
20s.
Funny.
What the fuck?
Sorry, yeah, that's a joke from 10 years ago.
No, but you're right. Like, I mean, case in point, on Bluesky, you have the self-effacing, the self-deprecating handle of badfuckingpodcast.com. That's like a dog that when you go to pet it goes and like pulls away. Like that's like, I'm so sad. Like, what happened to you? And I know I don't need to ask, because it's the same thing that happened to fucking me, dude. I've been there.
It is awful to see a podcaster hurt, afraid, and moving away from praise like that. Like, oh, what do you do in your spare time? Well, first off, you should never ask somebody that. B, if the answer is podcasts, it's like, that's cool. You're one of the bravest people I know. And then move on. Because you can't make fun of me. And also, I don't think you could ask me specific things about it.
Yes. I mean, and also, I mean, I hate to give these people credit because I'm banning them from making fun of us. But I think the reason that they do it, and the reason that we need specifically codified protection, is that this is actually a shameful hobby to have. Finding out that someone you know has a podcast is like finding out that they have to jack off under a tarp every day. It is a nerd hobby for AV club people. In another time, we would be ham radio people, but we played Chrono Trigger too young and we got changed. It's just, okay. I'm seeing this note on the document and I'm like, oh, fuck. I'm so glad I wrote this, because this is it exactly. The correct way to think about podcasters is like an old retired donkey on the farm. Consider them with a sort of warm, melancholy affection toward a malformed beast that's trying its best. You see an old retired donkey. What are you going to do? Are you going to say, look at this dumbass donkey, he's too old, lol, 6'7"? No, you don't. You wouldn't say that. You would say, oh, I'm glad it got enough grass. That's what you think about podcasters now. Everybody.
You know that bad Umamatsume horse that everyone sent a bunch of like grass to or whatever the fuck?
No.
That's a podcaster. Okay, there was Umamatsume racing horse girl game. Check.
Oh, God.
Wait. How far back, how deep this rabbit hole do I have to take you?
No, I know what it is. I just didn't know what the name was.
Gotcha. Umamatsume racing horse girl game. All the girls are based off of real horses. One of the horses is a dog shit horse that sucks and was bad. Everyone got really attached to that horse and started mailing, like, you could donate nice grass to that horse. And they sent that real life actual horse a bunch of food after it being pretty dog shit in its racing life. And then it passed away, I think, earlier like this year, but did so under like a ton of like, wow, I have more in my life than I ever had before. That's a podcaster. That's what you should do for your podcasters.
100% yes. Yeah. Oh my God. Yes. This is it's exactly that. It's exactly that. I can't believe how apt the horse girl racing gotcha game was to this scenario, because it's exactly that. And another reason that this is so important is that the griftosphere, your Sean Ryan podcasts, your Smartlesses, your the dailies, they don't think that they're shameful. They all think that they're doing something really good and like useful for like the business grift podcast. It's like, this isn't shameful. I'm helping. Like, I'm like useful. To listen to me is useful.
I'm doing something enlightened.
Nope. Like everyone needs to have a clear head about what is going on here. What is going on here is that we are in our fucking basements, yapping about fucking funny movies we saw. Like, this is silly shit.
And like the truth of the matter is, I'm about to crack it all the way open. The thing about podcast is, it's because I'm scared to make a connection in any other way than having to sit down and record it and release it elsewhere in hopes that other people will listen to it. You know what I mean? Like,
that's
if it's
so fucking shameful, dude.
That's shameful. And for an actual play, it's me playing a game with my friends and going, I think other people should listen to this. I think I really had some bangers in this, which is crazy.
An absurd impulse. That like, what we're doing is diseased. It is so fucked. But
and that's why you can't make fun of us.
Exactly. It's like we're you know what it is? It's like if there was a boss that was comprised entirely of weak points, it's like it's just bad form to even start the fight. Like, what are you even doing? Like how dare you? It's like
it's embarrassing. It's sad that you beat us up.
Yeah, it'd be like a bully from like a high school movie from the 80s, The Bully. If they were like bullying like a 2-year-old, like that's like, whoa, like this is just so beyond that. That's it. That's okay. I think we all understand about the Fourth Amendment. No making fun of us. Can't do it. Shit, I forgot about this one. The Fifth Amendment. Well, this just goes to show that nobody's perfect. Leave sponsorships behind. We're not doing that anymore. Ad reads lend legitimacy to the form, and that's your first mistake.
It's truly like in a world where at the risk of sounding like a grifter, like, podcasting is one of the most punk rock things you could do because anybody could do it and it's free. And ad read, it's that fucking who's the lead singer of the Sex Pistols that I hate? Johnny Rotten. When he did he did an advertisement for butter. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, you just suck. Like, you're just a square. You know what I mean? And I think that whenever I hear an ad, it is very much that same thing where I'm like, wow, you've interrupted this latest episode of your horror audio drama show, The Black Tapes, to talk to me about Casper mattresses. I am tired of this. Don't do this. You just want everyone to look down at their phone and click 30 seconds next. No.
Yeah.
Don't fuck with that.
And it's interesting that you bring up Casper mattress, because I wrote on the I'm looking at this document and I'm just like, so many fucking banger jokes and insights I wrote down a week ago. I'm so smart. It is possible I will soften on this, and I will allow some sponsorships and ad reads to be allowed in podcasts if and when a podcast does an ad read for something that is not an obvious scam. But yeah, call me when that happens. I don't think I'll be hearing from you.
Doesn't it feel like it's like how I feel about seeing an Instagram ad for a product where I'm like, I trust you less now. Before this, I didn't know your name, and now I know your name and think you put an ad on Instagram. If I think you put an ad on a podcast, that's just bad form. You don't fuck with that.
There's like an entire genre of like podcast and or YouTube video that is like, I'm so sorry, I didn't know about, ad person here. You'd think that after like the 6th and 7th time that this weird niche subscription service that everyone is somehow reading an ad for gets exposed as a scam, that people would connect the dots that, like, oh, all these fucking companies that are buying a ton of like new media ad space are fucking bullshit.
Mhm.
You'd think that they learn to maybe be a little bit more, I don't know, discerning, but no.
Critical? No. And can I say, sponsorships, I am willing to extend this out to other shows. I think there's nothing worse on this planet than an advertisement for a podcast. You know what I mean? Having to nail
Mhm.
your shit down to 45 seconds and say, here I am, please come listen to me. It's demeaning. I hate it. I hate doing it every time. I've had people at Moonshot asking me to re-record one for 7 months, and I have not done it. I don't want to do an ad. I'll do a guest spot. Guest spots are beautiful. They are
You're right.
natural.
You are so right. And they are violating your rights by asking to do this because of the Fifth Amendment. And I'm glad that you brought that up, because I'd put it out of my mind like a trauma response, dude. It's off. Like, we have an Anime Sickos trailer that's like a 60-second like bit, that explains what the deal is and hypes up the show. And when people ask, like, do you have a trailer we can use? You know what I say? No, because I hate that shit. Listening to that thing hurts me. And the fact that other people could hear it makes me want to puke in a big way. And yet, I see that you have added this, that you hear about these days, people say podcasts are dying. You see this in the news all the time. Podcasts are dying. And what they mean is there's less ad buys.
Which, where were they ever? They aren't real for people at our level. We are getting the ad buys.
Yes, it's absurd. Absurd.
This is like saying that painting is dying because they're going to stop putting juice boxes in the special lounge the rich painters get to go to. It's a different thing entirely. It is not true. It drives me fucking crazy. I think about you. Do you think about the Zip Bang Boom podcast guy all the time?
No, who's that? Who's that?
This is a thing. It came out in an article like 2-3 years ago, maybe, where a guy from one of these celebrity podcast shows was like, "Oh yeah, I go in and it's Zip Bang Boom, a podcast, and it just goes up. I don't know much about how it gets released or whatever like that. Can't find it exactly. It's some celebrity. Doesn't matter enough for me to look for it more than 5 seconds. But people who think they need advertisements think that podcasting is simple in that way, think that like it'll all come, all that processedness, all that like high quality, air quotes, whatever they think that means, comes together in a nice little digestible box. They talk it into a microphone and then somebody else releases it. You know what I mean? A sponsorship says that you have a staff, which means I don't trust you.
Yes, dude. Yes. And we'll get to the celebs in a later amendment. I'll tell you what.
Can I be honest with you?
Be honest with me.
I'm deeply jealous.
We're so pay us. I would change my mind so fast. I would read an ad for the most heinous corporations. Just like, I would read an ad for the Nestle 100% stolen baby formula. No poor people allowed. I'd do anything.
I have cold emailed Fairlife Milk many a time to say, "Are you ready for a milk sponsorship?" I would take pictures. If you ever see me posting about Fairlife Milk, it's because I am sending those posts to Fairlife Milk and saying, "Please, just send me free milk, please."
This should be happening for us, and the fact that it's not is again one of the indignities and violations of our rights that we are addressing with this document. Anyway, amendment number 6: you have to have episode topics that make people repulsed. Oh, you're covering a beloved movie, a classic album, an acclaimed TV show. To me, this is for babies. These are the kinds of thoughts the average rube's brain needs no help to think about.
The challenge of podcasting is to put that layer of obfuscation. It's like, what is life filtered through a weird freak? And I and you are that weird freak. That is why we have to be protected. And it comes in us. It's like, for me, for calling from my experience here, it's, oh, you could rewatch Naruto, an anime that most people at least feel ambivalent to good about. Yeah, I could do that. Or I could watch only the filler episodes and do a weird cult thing around it. Yeah, that's it. I want people to go like, I don't want to listen to that, but then they have to because, well, what does that even sound like?
Yes.
We expanded that to No Piece, a randomized One Piece rewatch where we just roll a 1,000-sided dice every time.
Jesus Christ. It's so repulsive. What an awful idea. This is what we need to. Okay. And I say awful idea in a purely complimentary way.
I hear you.
It's one of those things that the world wants to be like, that's a bad idea. Don't do it. And there's so many pressures that say, don't do it, don't do it, don't do it. And what is so unique about podcasting is that you can just do it. All you got to do is fucking yap. It's the easiest thing in the world. Just open your goddamn mouth and say the bullshit. Do whatever you want. Anime Sickos have got all sorts of insanely stupid podcast ideas and episode topics. For example, we just did one about the podcaster's Bill of Rights. What a stupid concept. And yet, when we do it, the skill level is so off the chain. The courage and nerve that we are displaying is exhilarating and compelling. It's why people keep coming back. Are people coming back? I can't tell.
I can't. I try not to open up podcast and look at that little graph that says people are listening because it drives me crazy. Because as someone who does some things that are like, you listen to episode 1, then 2, then 3, then 4, then 5, then 6, then 7, then done. It's crazy how some people will listen to the first one, leave, and then come back for the last one. And I'm like, but the story happened in between those two. Why the dip?
Dude, you opened this door. I was not going to talk about this on mic before, but my great miniseries, Sicko Shock 2, has your classic, first episode of the miniseries has the most listens, and then there's a linear decrease, as is the case for any serialized thing. This is not unique to podcasts. This is the same for TV shows and book series and comics and whatever. Obviously, the first one's going to get the most, and it's going to be a natural drop off between each one. The last episode, again, it has that huge bump, and it's just like, do you understand?
Why?
Like, you won't know who any of the people in it are. You won't know the characters.
None of this shit makes sense. I'm opening this up right now so I can look at I did an actual play in Zelda. It's like, all right, 928 listens for the first episode. That's awesome. Goes down. Down to like the lowest is like, all right, there's 600 right there in the middle. And then at the end, that is up to 787. And it's like, okay, why are there two peaks? Like, why do you come back? What do you want from me?
Unbelievable. But I mean, the point is, I mean, even the fact that I mentioned by audio drama, why would a show like this have an audio drama miniseries? How repulsive. You have to have episode topics that make people repulsed, because this is what makes the medium worth doing. This is what makes you have value as a podcaster, even beyond being good at it. I think if you are like, I don't think I have the fucking charisma and speedy wit to be a great podcaster, it doesn't matter. If you just pick insane enough topics, that does a lot of the work for you.
Now, Tom, as many good bills and many good laws do, they often contradict each other immediately within them, right? Sometimes back to back. We've brought up number 6 here, how important it is to make people repulsed. Can I take you to number 7, which it is officially fine to just chat about stuff happening to you personally?
I don't think this is contradictory at all, because a lot of people are repulsed by that. I mean, foul civilians, the hated listeners, will cite guys moaning about stuff that happened to them in their lives personally as a key facet of what makes a podcast crappy and low effort. To them, they think that means that little thought has went into the show and that the hosts lack the discipline to stay on message, to which I say, listen, asshole, have you ever done this? Have you ever tried to come up with 240 unique and fun episode concepts? Have you ever shot yourself in the fucking foot by making your podcast intentionally loose and flexible because one time in early 2016 you had 12 ideas and decided to make one podcast that fit them all, only to find that you were not actually a wild and diverse thinker whose creative whims will lead him down countless wild paths, but instead a guy who had 12 ideas one time? Come up and say that shit to my face, motherfucker. Tell me you know what it's like. You can't, because you don't.
May I also say, it is all fun and games to make a podcast based on audience participation, but what if the audience has bad suggestions? Like, they either bad suggestions or they don't show up. I can't crunch dirt into diamonds. It doesn't work like that.
You telling me sometimes the mine runs dry, Riley?
Oft the mine runs dry. There's much of that podcast that's cut out. That was me and Andrew scrolling around going, okay. All right. We got two people that constantly put in good work and a lot of people that don't. And that is why that podcast grew to go, what's being unemployed like? Me going pretty fucking bad.
It's incredible that we all are pivoting to this popular topic. Wow. It's true what they say. Great minds think alike. Also, skill issue. If your rapport is on point and you are a charming person, the topic is immaterial.
Do you not want to listen to two people who are like just are fucking the deepest of homies talk about their fucking life? Is that not joy? Is that not what normal dinner is? Is that not what the fun that exists in the world is? That's what it's all about.
We took you to dinner.
You sit down, you get your jambalaya out in front of you, and then you just listen to your friends talk. And we are friends because you pay us.
Yo, it's true. And I know, okay, Riley, I know I said I didn't think Amendment 7 directly contradicted Amendment 6, but I know I did just say the topic is immaterial. Right after I said you must have repulsive episode topics. So,
and you can do both. You can mix and match. You can do them all. You can have your repulsive episode topics where you're like, I have paired up many an audience member with another audience member, and they will make their own podcast. That's a nightmare, but it's great because then the next thing you can do is go, hey, does anyone know any good pest removal services in Chicagoland, in the greater Chicagoland area? I need help, please. I don't want to go back to Terminex. I fucking hate Terminex, please.
Jesus Christ. It's good, folks. You can do funny stuff, but you can also just you can't. And this is, I think, really Amendment 7 is just sort of a sharpening of Amendment 4. Everyone has to agree not to make fun of you, which is just like, let us do this, let us have the fucking filler. It's hard to only have gems, chill the fuck out. All right.
The podcaster and the mangaka are the two most oppressed creators in existence.
It's so real. We are like the same. We have the same amount of skill. We put the same
I'm
amount of
hunched
work.
over my desk with my microphone. My back is awful.
Yeah. Riley, we've mentioned this one. We've done a lot of foreshadowing for this next amendment, the 8th Amendment.
Yes. The most important one to me, frankly. This was my go for number 1, honest to God.
I should make it clear that the numbering is in the order they were written down and not necessarily importance. So, I mean, aside from the Second Amendment, you get to have a gun.
Yes.
That, obviously. What is number 8? Read number 8 for the class.
Number 8 is celebrities don't get to have podcasts. They get to do some other thing. We're not cutting them out of it entirely. We're not saying, hey, you can't talk into a microphone anymore. We're just saying it's not a podcast. You can't do it. I addressed this earlier. Celebs used to have this, and it was called webisodes or featurettes, and you'd get them on a Blu-ray copy of the movie you just bought, where I get to hear some inane little thought about the thing you're doing, and then you get to move on. And then they took that from us, and now I have to hear about them all talk about California and beyond the 15 podcasts that they cycle through.
This is so fucking smart. And you know what I think this is a sort of, and this is something that has been discussed by other people in other publications, and I didn't really give much thought to it because I don't care one way or the other. But it is a true observation, which is that in the internet age, the sort of mystique of the celebrity has disappeared. It used to be that like a movie star was like a
Yes.
mega famous person, and like part of what made them mega famous is that like you didn't have access to them, and if you wanted to see the cool, attractive, charismatic person you have to buy a ticket to the movie.
And now they're a jester that's on my social media page.
Now they're bad podcasters, what they are, who are eating up all the fucking space and all the attention and making a podcast that's no good. They think they can go zip, zap, zoop, and then the podcast fall out. It don't, idiot. So here's another thing that I thought maybe was a form they could take, because I don't know if you remember this, and I don't hear people talking about this, and I think this is something that is worth bringing up because it is insane and very funny. I was thinking maybe they could have something that they call celeb audio juniors, and a celeb audio junior in all ways would be indistinguishable from podcasts, but they would call them celeb audio juniors, and they would have different charts from the cities.
Okay.
So when you're talking about podcasts, and like when you have your nominations for awards, you'd have best podcast and you'd have your best celeb audio junior. And I have this name of celeb audio junior because do you remember this? I remember this because I was watching 30 Rock every week as it came out during this time when Jerry Seinfeld was making B movies. Now, I don't know if you remember this, and if you are someone who is younger than us who knows B-movie only as a meme, I really need you to understand that prior to B-movie, Jerry Seinfeld had about as much cachet as anyone could. He
was kind of like God in a way.
His sort of brand account where he hold like his bank account where he holds all of his goodwill was bursting. You know, Seinfeld was a juggernaut of a show, so funny, made stars of all of its cast. You understand this. He was a legend. He had that mystique in a way that few comedians do, that celeb mystique. And he decided, you know what? I'm sick of being retired from my TV show. I'm still a creative person. I didn't get this famous by not being the best. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to still be creative. I'm going to make a passion project called B Movie. And he made a withdrawal from his brand bank account of all the chips he has. And he says, I put them all on black and yellow. I'm going all in on B Movie. He goes to NBC, the network that he made billions of dollars for. They owe him for life. And he says, I'm calling in all of my favors to do a huge marketing blitz for my passion project, B Movie. And that was manifested in a lot of ways. One of them was he was guest starring on a lot of shows. He guest starred on 30 Rock and advertised B Movie on it.
That's crazy because when I watched 30 Rock, I was like, oh, it's a joke about B Movie. I didn't realize it was a natural ad activation for B Movie.
Riley, if only it were just that. Because in addition to that stupid shit, he was constantly presenting something, which the names has stuck with me forever because it's just like, how did you put these words together and say, like, yeah, let's go. Like, this is it. This is what we're doing. Let's say it a bunch of times. He would introduce between shows something that he would call B Movie TV Juniors. What's a B Movie TV Junior? You ask? It's a fucking commercial for B Movie. So why not just have that? Because Jerry wants to, in front of and at the end of the commercial, have a little like confessional where he's at a desk and he tells you, you're about to watch a B Movie TV Junior. And then at the end say, did you like the B Movie TV Juniors? To me, this phrase is as powerful, B Movie TV Juniors. It's as powerful as Big Naruto Fight in Boruto. Big Naruto Fight in Boruto, B Movie TV Juniors. Big Naruto Fight in Boruto, B Movie TV Juniors. Just need to get that off my chest.
It's a crazy set too. He's like in front of a fire. This looks to me like the same set as the whitest kids you know sketch where they're like, it is illegal to say. It's framed and shot the same way. There's a brown kind of curtain in the background, except instead of a single chair on which Trevor Moore changes comedy forever, it is Jerry Seinfeld on a overly complicated set with a fireplace, B-movie everywhere, a couple vases, a ancient apple, a phone, a desk with a photo frame facing him. It is elaborate.
It's like really bad, and something that the B movie TV Juniors made very clear. And I mean, this wasn't hard to know watching Seinfeld. Is that Jerry Seinfeld as a performer is like very stiff and off-putting. On Seinfeld, he had the benefit of extremely good writers and an incredible supporting cast that sort of lifted him up. When he's on his own doing these B-movie TV Juniors, the only thing that you can think is, oh, fuck, any movie this guy makes is dog shit.
It's so fun. It's my favorite thing in the world is when a guy's on a plane and goes like, wow, I can fly on my own, and jumps out of the plane. You know what I mean? Like, it's crazy. It's one of my favorite things of just watching a guy bob the fuck out.
Yep. I don't think he ever got any of his cultural cachet back after the B movie TV Junior fiasco. What were we talking about? Podcasts.
We talk about podcasts. Celebrities can't do them. I agree with you completely on the Celeb Audio Juniors. That is set. That is locked. That solves the problem entirely. Frankly, my thing is like, celebrities can guest on podcasts. I think I'll still allow that.
Yes.
And B, this is the best form of it, is a minute and 30 seconds of like seeing whatever weird thing a celebrity does when they're like, I want to advertise. That's so much funnier than, hi, you know who else has been the third voice on this podcast the entire time? It's the lead singer of The Real Big Fish. It's like, that's nothing. That's nothing to me.
Yeah. Agreed. All right. Number 9. This one's kind of inside podcasting, but work with us. Websites that show you your podcast rank and the charts can't say too low, podcast too crappy. We won't show you the number. I know I'm crappy, okay? But I'm a human being. I have rights. Show me the numbies. What rank am I? Don't say don't know. You know. I know you know. Tell me.
I want to stop getting those. I want to stop getting the pay $5 for us to put your, hey, we have a great idea on how to make the IMDb for podcasts you want to join. It's like you and the other 1,000 who lay before you dead on the doorstep. You are not going to be the IMDb for podcasts. That doesn't work. This shit drives me crazy. The spam mail that comes to a podcaster's email is truly, I see the same thing every day, and it's, wow, you did a really great podcast. I really loved your insightful insight and your wonderful takes. I wrote a book. It's like, who are you? Don't fucking talk to me.
I hate the people who are like, your podcast is great, but do you want to take it to the next level? I can consult and give you such ideas as make it fucking suck ass. Make it be a stupid growth hacking podcast. Make it be a piece of shit. And it's just like, no, thank you.
Only time I want somebody messaging me with a service is they're like, hi, can I cut your podcast into little clips that I can share, that we can share online, and I can do it under your name. You don't have to pay me. I'm just going to do it. Here it is. I don't want to do the social media aspect of podcasts. I don't want to do that. I'm too old for that shit. But if somebody wanted to do that and then also not be like, you know what I think you should do? I don't, hold on as I target this story in my brain. Without saying any names, I know somebody who had gotten a manager for their act, right? They're like, I want to sit down and like I need help with the social media stuff. And with that came the manager going about and going like, okay, cool. Also, you know, you should really figure out what your like each member of the group, what your theme is. You know what I mean? Which one of you is like the bad boy? They're like, none of us. I'm a person and I do the thing I do. Your job is to edit together videos. That's all you're doing. I don't need to like theme my life around this. I do the thing I want. You put it in front of people.
That is a bold and noble thing for them to have said. Wow. I guess a corollary of this is if you have a podcast that's more popular than me and you go, wow, we're 33rd on the podcast comedy charts, you got to stop doing that. Because if I go, I wonder what Anime Sickos is on the charts and the website is just like too low to tell. That is, you are violating the Fourth Amendment because you are indirectly making fun of me. So you can't do that because I'm a podcaster. You can't make fun of them. So stop doing that.
Even video games tell me I'm 100,000 out of 16 million. You know what I mean? Like,
yes, exactly. Yes. Of like, I'm not going to be shocked to learn that I'm small time. Okay. I know that. I just want to look at a number. Everyone else gets a number. Show me the number.
Also, here's a big thing. I think, and this is controversial, on these lists, if you haven't released an episode in 6 months, you're off the list.
You're off the
We deactivate that account. And I know I get shot with that bullet quite a few times. However, I think it's worth it. What's the number one podcast? Oh, it's Car Talk. No, it's not. Grandpa, it's not. That's old. That's old news.
I'm not saying Car Talk's bad. I'm saying they're dead. They're not around. They're not making more.
They are not around anymore. It's every time you walk up to a person, you say, "Hey, what's the best band?" And they go, "Led Zeppelin." And I go, "Where'd you get that opinion? Hot topic. Like, how old are you? Think.
Come on.
Come on. Look around you."
Okay, amendment number 10. We got to get through these.
This is the one where I'm going to fight you on this. I unfortunately we've really hit the fighting point.
Okay, so I'm gonna say my piece. You then respond with a rebuttal.
Absolutely.
Amendment number 10. We must protect our noble podcasters from becoming streamers. Here is my argument. Podcasting is one of the few mass media formats that allows for morality. You can obviously make it evil if you choose to, but it's not guaranteed. That's the key. Every other media is guaranteed to be evil. The noble podcaster can take their time in the privacy of their own home to record an episode. If the vibe is off or if they don't feel like it, simply delay. Life stuff came up, bump the recording. Did you really biff it hard? Were you not very funny? Edit it out. The podcaster is an admirable workman who makes their product like an artisan in their workshop and then takes it to the market when it's done. Streaming is a hell prison Truman Show shit. Live? You mean I have to do this at this time? What if I don't wanna? What if I don't look good today? What if I fucking biff it? You tell me the chat gets to fucking speak to me? Excuse me? It's enough of a fucking humiliation having a Discord. I see these heroes, these gods, podcasters begging to be shackled into a zoo enclosure. And to that I say no. What is your rebuttal?
I understand these points you are. You've made many a good point. You've presented them well. Streaming and podcasting are two different beasts, and I agree that they should not be connected in that way. Now, I will say here, yes, when I podcast, I get to edit out shit. I get to do that in theory. When I stream, I do it and I walk away. That stream doesn't then sit shamefully on my computer for 8 months while I say I'm working on it. Taking the editing out of podcasts, that's beautiful. Now, I agree. Podcasts are an audio medium. Podcasts are on your audio. However, streaming is so much fucking easier. Does it suck to see the number 8 next to your name for viewers? Yes. However, it is so much easier. I can't stress to you how much easier it is. Oh, did I biff it? Oh, stream dropped. It's closed. Hard exit.
Okay,
I guess I
point.
biffed it by pulling the fucking power cord out of my goddamn wall. Like, it's over.
Didn't consider that.
Did that joke not land? Was I maybe a little too punchy and I said something I didn't mean? Okay, that VOD doesn't go anywhere. Sorry, I lost it. It's deleted. And no one will ask for that VOD ever. You know what I do get asked for? The invisible first season of Riley Hopkins and Their Amazing Friends that I took off the internet because I found out one of the people I had on it was a sex pest.
Oh, no.
Yeah, that doesn't happen with streaming because I just get to go, all right, that VOD's not there no more. And also, who's gonna watch the VODs? And when they do watch the VODs, they'll be like, this was from 7 years ago. I will move forward with this because they do not remember what happened in this.
Okay. Riley makes some very interesting points that I can see where you're coming from. I think perhaps we can come to a compromise for this amendment that will satisfy both parties.
Okay.
Which is, I think the real key is there must be a meaningful and societally agreed upon distinction between podcasting and streaming that is not allowed to disintegrate.
Yes. It is a separation. I agree with this.
Yes, the idea that if you do one, you have to do the other is what to me disgusts me. Because when you were saying that streaming is so much easier, that was like a aha moment for me as to like why anyone would do it. Because to me, nothing could be harder than streaming. Want to know why? One, if I'm just like saying that, like, yeah, my 7 to 8 on these nights is spoken for forever. Well, I want to fucking puke immediately. I'm just like, no. Dude, you can't take my time. And also, what would I be doing on this stream? Well, I'd probably be playing a video game. Well, here's the thing, Riley. One, video games are for me. You can't have them, hated listener. I'm not giving that to you. That's for me. 2, when I'm playing a video game, I cannot talk. My wife will attest to this. If I'm playing a video game and she asks me a very basic question like what should we get at the store tomorrow? And like, I know we need to get onions and broccoli. I'll be playing my game and be like, we need to get.
You'll simply grunt like a caveman.
I wish I grunted. I just stopped talking and then like I look back at her and go, oh shit, yeah, I was talking. Fuck. Yeah, no, we need to get. And then I'll just go catatonic again as I'm playing the game. And this will go on. I need to stop. I need to like turn the game off or pause it or what have you and like completely disengage to be able to use the language part of my brain. I just can't do them at the same time.
That's fair. I get that. I'm a nervous talker. So when I'm playing games and I get stressed, I just start rambling. The thing that I just want to hammer home, on my computer right now sit 12 unedited episodes of different shows. Sorry, 16 episodes of unreleased content. Some of these have been in here since about 2021.
Jesus, dude.
They hang like knives on the very roof of my room in a saw trap.
Well, it's interesting you should bring that up because I, listener, am officially looking for podcast editing work. If you want me to edit your podcast, I'll do it for a fucking fee. It really adds up. I'm just, if you look for what a fair rate is for podcast editor, it's like, oh, I understand why everyone does it themselves. However, I gotta hustle.
I'm pulling up the little folder to email you an episode, brother. Do not
I'm excited. Okay. I'm glad we came to an agreement there because
this is equitable.
I would hate to to yuck your yum. I mean, if there's something that you like, I understand that you were a noble podcaster. I know that you were not doing anything that adds to the indignities. So if any of this Bill of Rights goes against your beliefs, then clearly it is not perfect document and must be edited.
Absolutely. The other fear with an editor is, what if you hand it to them and they're like, oh, this sucks? That's the fear.
They got to keep that shit to themselves. That's just basic professionalism.
That's true. That's so fucking true.
Well, also, you get the possible bonus of if the editor actually like thinks that this shit is good and like tells you like, I loved this joke.
That's true.
Dude, two of the most bestest things that have ever happened to me. When we did Shuffle Quest, our RPG podcast from like 2016.
I remember this.
At the beginning, I recorded at Adam Goron's house. He is an audio engineer. He had the mics. He did the editing. We paid him for it, and it was a great time. And he would be listening to us as we recorded in the other room with his fucking computer and all this stuff, just to make sure that the levels all looked good. He would be doing something else, but he would just have the headphones on, just, to catch any audio stuff that he needed to address. Every once in a while, we would hear a fucking belly laugh come from his room after we did a great riff. And it was just like, folks, we are cooking today.
There's something about
special.
a live studio audience. That is true.
Yes. And then also, you mentioned the first time you recorded in a studio was with us. Well, we rented a real recording studio to do the local actors for Sicko Shack 2. And so we were in that studio a lot, and it was the same engineer who was helping us out every time. And, like Adam, he's listening to what's going on in the booth because it's his job.
Mm-hmm.
And we're recording this shit like all out of order because it's just whoever can get in, we can record all their parts. And so he's getting this plot completely jumbled. And like 2 or 3 sessions in, he's just like, this sounds like I really like this. Like, this is interesting. What happens? And I'm like, huh? What?
That is good. I hadn't considered this.
Anyway, we got to move on to Amendment 11. Something must happen. And I wish I knew what that something was. But, this is a living document. So maybe someone will amend Amendment 11 later. Something must happen to prevent Red Scare situations. If you're familiar, Red Scare is a podcast, and I hate to say that they are our peers.
Oh, I see. I thought this was a 50s Red Scare that you were referencing. I now see we are in the meat. I will sit back. I will learn.
I'm talking about Red Scare, the podcast with Dasha and Anna, 2 mean girl, right-wing dimes square cokeheads who do a right-wing podcast called Red Scare that people say is people who are dumb cite it as an example of sometimes left-wing people have edgy opinions because they at one time briefly called themselves left-wing despite not having left-wing views. They're clearly fascists. They love Trump. Anyway, but like the thing that truly kills me is that they're constantly being written about in feature stories in New York publications of like, ooh, this cool new Mean Girl scene is edgy and hip. It truly is a nexus of stupid motherfuckers who form a whirlpool of awfulness and only gets worse and pulls its victims in deeper and deeper forever. If you try to dip your toe into like, oh, I want to get a little bit of the Red Scare juice for me and it'll juice my podcast, so you're getting sucked in. You can't dabble in that.
The thing you brought up that like a podcast like this gets its articles in like New York write-ups and stuff like that. Thing you have to remember is most of those East Coast newspapers with huge names are all fascist rags, and you just have to remember that. It's like a hard thing to remember, easy to forget, but it is just true. You're like, oh, that's right. It's the same reason the Golden Globes has that list. It's because they're listening to it. They're like, yay, yippee.
So how do we prevent the Red Scare situation? I don't know. I think there are 3 possible solutions. One is you got to cut off the Peter Thiel money. Like they are funded by Peter Thiel. That's another way they're right wing, because he is one of the evilest people on the planet. So if he wants their message to get out, they have an evil message. So no Thiel money. I don't know how we can prevent it. I'll just say it. No, don't do it anymore. Peter, stop.
That's for we're the writers here. We're the people putting together the document. That's for a different branch of podcast government to handle.
Yeah. Yes. You got to give it to some. Like we make the law, let them enforce it. Although I recall that was a quote that Andrew Jackson said to sort of slam the document as stupid, which we don't want. Oh, let someone else enforce it, please. Okay.
Please, pretty please, thank you.
Okay, now we're good. Okay, the next possible way that this happens is I think. It could be that cocaine does it, because I know they're cokeheads, and the entire Dimes Square group are cokeheads. And also, you spelled Times Square wrong. It's spelled with a T, ladies. I don't know what you're thinking of. But I think maybe I might be throwing the baby out with the bathwater, because that may be good comedians who are fucking high on coke and saying funny things. So I think that perhaps it's sort of an adjacent thing, which is it's not the cocaine that's doing it. It's just that the cocaine is a side effect to the desperate need to be seen as cutting edge cool. That's why they're constantly getting meaner. That's why they're constantly getting more right wing, because they have to be so edgy that everyone gasps and writes about, like, I can't believe that these fashionable ladies are evil. How exciting. And
It's a misunderstanding of what emotion is. It is because it happens with every generation has a comedian who misunderstands people going, yikes, I don't know if you can say that, for they think I'm funny. And it's brutal. I don't know how to fix that, because frankly, if you have that in your brain, I think you're just kind of fucked to start.
Yeah. And also, I think that if you need to be seen as cool, even if you can pull it off, like, it's a poison well for everyone, because coolness lasts like 2 years max. This is just the nature of coolness. This is why there are no, like, 50-year-old rappers who are cool. Like,
That's
you're
true.
like, oh, but what about Jay-Z? Jay-Z is not a rapper anymore. He's a public figure. If he put out a rap album, it would not be cool. What's he going to talk about? I don't know.
It's the coolest old person is just writing residuals that will not continue.
Yeah. And the third possible way we prevent a Red Scare situation is and this might help you, because you were saying you didn't want to do this.
Yes, this note is correct. It is banning podcasters from having to do social media for their shows would fix this. It fixes it. It just wraps it all up in a little bow, because I don't know how podcasters will get advertised then, but if you can't find freaks out there, then you won't have to worry. If the freaks can't find their freaks, then you're good. You know what I mean? More people would be durable. Now, again, I want people to listen to my show, and I don't know how to do, and I think that's guest spots, because that's, you're vetting me by having me on. You know what I mean? And so there's not a situation in which you would have on a nightmare person, because you are not a nightmare person.
Yeah.
And that in itself will spread that way.
Also, Riley, I think that, how are people going to find my show? That presupposes that doing social media for your show has any fucking measurable effect on anyone listening to it, which it does not. So I think, just like part of this, like, need to be seen as cool, this awful sort of, like, self-perpetuating whirlpool of right-wing monstrousness, I think it all has to do with social media. I mean, like, social media is, the algorithm is made to make you mad. Who owns all of the websites? Fucking fascists. Elon Musk owns X, the Everything app, which is where Red Scare makes their bones. It's all bullshit. It's all social media. Get rid of it. Nuh-uh. Web rings. Web rings. We're back to web rings for our podcast, folks.
That was not to be fucking old hat over here, but when you logged into a website and you saw a list of other websites on the right side with little images, and you're like, yep, these are other places you can go. That's kind of it. That's kind of what it's all about.
All right. Amendment 12. Your friends can't say that they are meaning to check it out. They have to tell the truth. Namely, brother, I would sooner KMS than listen to that shit.
It is so okay for you, my close personal friend, family member, or what have you, to not listen to my show. That is A-okay. That is fine. Be honest with me. Level with me like a human. You and I have known each other. I don't need you to listen, but I can't have you say, yeah, maybe.
When you approach year 3 or 4 of a project, hearing someone say, oh, yeah, sorry, I haven't been able to check it out yet, hurts 1,000 times worse than if they just said, hey, listen, man, I respect you in many ways, but not this one. In this part of your life, you were a worm to me. Because then at least we know where we stand. Because if you tell me, oh, I've been meaning to check it out, I know, oh, you're lying to me. Well, what's the truth?
Now, Tom, this probably gets cut here, but I am noticing this is where I was accidentally using the comment function on this procedure. And I have looked into my comment here, and I've seen that the ever hilarious Joe has punched up a joke in an incredible way. I have said one of the things about podcasts specifically is this is an amendment to this amendment here is if you are my coworker or neighbor, you cannot interact with my content outside of monetarily. That's too close. I talk a lot about work in my house. I don't need you knowing about it at all. That's the line I need. You can pay, you can donate, you can pay, you can do whatever you want, but just don't. I had somebody at work say they listened to an episode of the podcast Vines, and I considered quitting.
I will read Joe's punch up. This is why I miss Joe as a person on this podcast. Of course, I miss him as my friend and creative partner, but very selfishly, I miss him because he makes the episodes better. In response to you saying that if you are my coworker or neighbor, you cannot interact with my content outside of monetarily, Joe says, this is how people talk about friends OnlyFans, which is to say OnlyFans that are run by people that you know and are friends with, not an OnlyFans themed to the sitcom Friends. This is how people talk about friends OnlyFans. Like, yes, I support you. Do not show me your pussy. Real.
It's fucking good.
Like, can I help you out and not have that part come into it?
I subscribe to giving you $5 a month out of the kindness of my heart to you. I'll Venmo it to you regularly. I support your. I am not a wealthy benefactor, but I am someone who will send you the ability to get yourself a crispy ranch snack wrap from McDonald's in the year 2006.
Jesus Christ. Anyway, nothing. I think that's the cap on that. We're not going to riff any better than that. Okay. Amendment 13. When you have a notable person on as a guest, you have to get a bump. It can't just be normal numbers again. Libsyn or whoever you have hosting your podcast should just know, oh, that sounds like you have a notable person on your podcast. We're going to give you 3,000 free downloads in your stats just to make you happy. I don't care that they're not real. Shutter Island me, baby. Let me live in my fantasy.
People often say, why would you want bot listens? And it's like, because then the number's bigger, dumbass. Like... I do this for me. I want my little number to be bigger so I feel the joy.
I don't know what's wrong with us. Parentheses, he said, with the podcast named Anime Sickos and that episode art. I don't know what we did, but every time we have a notable person on, we get the same. We get the same downloads. I want the bump so bad. Anyway, I'm not going to go too much further on this because it's going to make me seem really upset.
The thing about guests is that they are a treat for your listeners already. I don't log in every day to say, I wonder what wonderful shows my friend Tom has been on today. But if I listen to this and you talk to me, and you say, this is the episode of a show I'll be on, I'm like, oh, I might go look at that. But I was already listening to this one. You know what I mean? I didn't follow you to Anime Sickos and then go, wow, this is great.
Fair enough. I will say also that it helps that the real reason we do guests pretty much at all it's just that we can fucking chat and yap with people who we think would be fun to talk to. And it's really interesting that you said earlier that the podcast format is a way that you can have a social interaction that you have an excuse for. Because, oh, buddy, it's exactly that. Like, if I was like, hey, can I just like talk with you, person? First of all, I would expire in the middle of the ask. Second of all, if it actually happened, I would be so nervous and be like, and not know what to say. But on a podcast, well, obviously, we're just going to fucking do the format, aren't we?
Because this is like a skit. In the way where skits are essential, this has an opening and an ending.
So smart. See, we're geniuses. This is so good. This one, Riley, I believe is a big you one. Amendment 14, you shouldn't have to do homework for a guest spot.
Yeah, I don't. Listen, I've been on many a show. I do guest spots and I enjoy them. Sometimes it's reasonable. Sometimes it's like, hey, I'm going to talk about this episode of television, and I'm like, okay, and I forget to watch it to the moment before, and then I download a extension onto my Firefox so I can watch an episode of Sailor Moon at 1.5 speed. Like, sure, but like sometimes I'm like, yeah, I'll be a guest spot on this show, and then it's like, all right, here's 8 volumes of manga that you have to read, and I'm like, I'm not going to do that. I didn't do homework when I was in school. I'm not doing it now. Like, this shit is not playing. What I'm going to do is open up the Wikipedia page, listen for you to say something, and then riff off what you said. Like, I'm not doing a homework. I'm not doing it.
Work smarter, not harder. That's very real. I mean, that's honestly why we never talk about anime on this show. It's because it's homework to watch. If we're going to talk about anime, we're going to talk about a season of something, and it's homework to watch that all. And also, Joe's really busy with his fucking family and chronic pain, so he's just not going to do it. And so we don't do it. And for that matter, when it comes to doing homework for a guest spot, other shows, stop assuming I have anything to say about anime just because of the name of my show. I don't.
For absolutely what it's worth, I watch Decadence because of this show. And I love every second of it. It's fucking really good. It's on the Plex.
So good. I love Decadence. All right. Number 15, amendment number 15. This is huge.
Yeah, this is one I put down as soon as you asked me to come up with some amendments on here. This is an easy peasy one. You have to have someone not living in California or New York on your podcast. That's just true. I'm a known coast hater.
This is so real. I'll tell you why. And this is not even because I'm a coast hater. I kind of am, but like not as much as you. I respect the coasts. I hate them in good fun, you know. But this is so valid, and I'll tell you why. The New York shit incentivizes video.
You're right.
And you know, the First Amendment, you can't have video, because if you're in New York, it's really easy to make your podcast 4 guys in the living room holding mics, because all the comedians you know live in the same fucking like 2-mile radius. And then, if we're already going to be in the living room, let's just put a fucking camcorder down and then we'll have a video version. Wrong. Don't do that. Wrong.
It drives me fucking crazy. I have believed for a long time that the long-standing lesson that Dropout comedy is trying to teach people is that women from Chicago are the funniest people on earth. Because every time I find someone especially hilarious on that fucking thing, I go, "Where are they from?" "Oh, Chicagoland." That makes sense. People from New York have to overcome, and I hate to give anything to New York, and I do have to, unfortunately, give it to them a little bit recently. They're doing pretty good. That's all they're getting from me. I'm tired of hearing about a turnpike. I'm tired of hearing about a bodega, a laugh factory in Hollywood where you're doing a stand-up set. I can't stand this shit. It makes me so fucking mad. Go to a Casey's. Be normal. Embrace like life.
It's so much more pleasant to listen to a podcast, fire a podcast up, and have everybody be like, "I love to put giardiniera on my sandwich. Give me..." This is real, people.
Are we for or against Italian stuff?
I mean,
to decide.
You can't say that they don't make a delicious, spicy vegetable mixture. Can you say that? Are you really going to say that to me, Riley, after we're trying to do Midwest supremacy?
You're right. To me, the only coastal city, and this I guess isn't a coastal city, the only city that I will permit that is within 50 miles of the coast is Philadelphia, because it kind of feels like Chicago East to me.
Yes, that is 100% real. I agree with that completely. Shout out to Jeff Stormer.
Shout out to Jeff Stormer. Go Birds, except for when the Bears beat them last weekend.
All right, and this kind of segues beautifully into the 16th Amendment, which is guests should be your little friends. If you're going to be like, "Oh, here is Josh Blangino, staff writer on Lil Craps, the new animated series on Netflix," fuck off with that. No staff writers allowed. The only kind of guests that you're going to have on your podcast are marginally employed guys that you know in real life who talk about what would happen if a gnome sucked you off, and not in a sexual way. It's not like you and the gnome are on a date. It just kind of happens. And it's like, it's kind of clinical, honestly.
There's a sterility to it that is fascinating. Tom, I have a
Yeah.
question. I have another question. A follow up with this amendment here. Does this include, like we have been talking about so consistently here, does this include and protect the low tier famous people like every LA comedian? Like, are they matched into this?
Okay. That is a great question. And here's my answer. I think that yes, it is a little too much to say that every guest should be your little friend.
Mhm.
And I mentioned before that if you have a prominent guest, you need to get a bump. That was, I believe,
Yes.
the 13th Amendment. So
You're right,
obviously, prominent guests are allowed. But I think there needs to be parity.
Mhm.
For every big guest, you have to balance them out with your buds. And here's the thing, if you are at a level of prominence where your buds are big guests, if your buds are all staff writers,
Mhm.
you're a celeb, and I refer you
Mhm.
back to the 8th Amendment. Celebs don't get podcasts. They get celeb audio juniors.
You are in the celeb audio junior. Yep. This, I think that is fair. I think this is reasonable. I don't think there's anything. The only other thing I can say is, if you are then a big guest that comes on my podcast, you have to be my friend.
That's okay. Yes. That's part of it. If you're not my friend, if you're on my podcast and you aren't my friend at the end, that episode's straight up not getting released because it's going to be terrible.
Yeah, that's a bad app. If I haven't made you laugh, then we're done. And I guess that goes to say why it shouldn't be a stream.
Yeah.
Because then people would have seen that. They would have seen it bomb live. It would have been, did you ever listen? Way back early in podcasting, this is when I was in college, I listened to a lot of The Nerdist by like known pest Chris Hardwick. Wasn't known then. He did a interview with Harrison Ford that was dog shit. Like absolutely awful, horrible. Like the vibes were rancid because he was incredibly nervous. Harrison Ford's not a guy who wants to be talking to anybody at any given moment. And like it was like that Chris Farley and Paul McCartney SNL sketch interview, except without the smile and more of just the yep, I was there.
That's a great Harrison Ford fucking impression, dude.
I didn't know I had that in me.
Oh my god, that sounds awful.
I would have not released that podcast. He did. I will tell you, I will not release that podcast if I record it with you.
Oh, actually, I was about to say this next one would be I'm adding a 17th Amendment live. 17th Amendment. You have to skip weeks. I think this is real because if you want to put a podcast out every week and never skip a release date, that's fine. That's a great goal to have. But I guarantee there will come a time when meeting that goal will ask a terrible price of you. And if you get to that critical crossroads moment and you decide to go with the consistent release schedule choice,
you've lost the grace of God.
Yes, you have become something hideous to me. You have lost your humanity, you've given it up, and you were doing the devil's work. If you have a bullshit, I mean, the only thing I can think about that fucking Nerdist interview is there must have been some contract thing that like you have to release it, you know, because of like the agreement they had. Because like if you just have a piece of shit episode and you're like, well, if I don't release this, I will miss a week. Miss the week. Just miss it.
If I remember correctly, it started with like a 10-minute him talking to the microphone alone, talking about how this was hard to release, but he thinks it's important to release.
Oh, dude, no. No. Don't do it. Don't do it.
It was really bad, dog. It was really bad.
Fuck, dude. And also just God, I'm like shaking that off of my brain so I can keep talking about something else.
This is the same podcast that then did air a episode that is like the hosts actually real life fighting about the direction of the podcast.
Christ.
This shit was crazy to look back on. And it's wild that I didn't hear that and go, do I think this person could be abusive to the people around them if he's releasing these podcasts?
I just yeah. Even if there's no drama going on, even if there's no shitty episodes, even if there's no fighting on air, just like you need to skip weeks just to sort of have a just to sort of plant your flag in the hill, the sand, wherever you plant flags.
It's to reassert your power over the podcast.
Exactly. Yes, I'm in control. The hated listener does not not run my life. If I want to defeat my podcast and shove it down and spit upon it, that is my right. I can do that. I'm a human being. I have rights. I have a lot of them.
You're goddamn right. We've gone over them. They're all here.
Yes, and there's one left, and this one, the 18th Amendment, is one that I'm going to let you expound upon solo, because I refuse to invite this heat onto Anime Sicko's podcast. You can do this shit all you want on Moonshot, but I cannot allow this incendiary language on my show, so I disavow what you're about to say next. I actually don't disavow. I make no comment about what you're about to say next.
Absolutely.
For Amendment 18.
Tom has gotten up. Tom has left the Discord call here. Hi. This one goes for actual play only. I don't want to hear about what system you think I should be playing. I don't want to hear what system you think other people should be playing. This is some shit that will get people heated, but let me be real with you. I don't care. I don't care. I play indie games and I like them, but terms like OSR, lyric game, that means nothing to me. You make up new little structures to cause fights. How many dice do I roll and win? Also, I don't know, man. D&D's fine. I'm willing to be canceled for this. D&D is fine. I like it when people know a game like a language, dog. I'm willing to die on this hill. Tom, you can come back in now.
All right, back. I don't know what he was just talking about. I make no comment on that.
It's okay for me to play Ball Pit while we record. I should be able to play a video game while we record. If you see a Steam notification come up that says George H.W. Cush is now playing Balatro, you can't be mad at me.
You're George H.W. Cush?
Yes!
Okay, I see the fucking... I don't know who I haven't added a Steam friend in years. I don't know who any of these fucking people are. I see George H.W. Cush popping up all the time, and every time, because I see it on my main TV, which is where my computer is attached to my TV. When we're watching TV, and my wife, it's the computer. So, like, we both see George H.W. Cush is playing some shit all the time, and we're both like, that's the funniest fucking name. Who is that? Wow.
We over when we did ground control at Moonshot, we gave a bunch of people different Steam names because they were all logged in. I think we made Marn Penis Cheney. We made Andrew Hillary Clinton. Like, we did a lot of good work over there. They've all changed back. They're cowards.
I mean, I think you got the best one. Like Hillary Clinton, like that's kind of like crude and blue. Or George H.W. Cush, the whole family can enjoy.
Everyone can enjoy that one. And again, Fairlife Milk, if you want me to change it, I will.
All right. I think we're at the end. I don't think we got any more amendments. That's 18 beautiful amendments for the Podcasters' Bill of Rights. These are all law now, and podcasters have dignity again. And it's all thanks to us.
I'm so happy.
That's it.
It's been a long path here. Thank you for having me. It's been a fucking joy. I love this. I love this show. I love being here. 19th Amendment. If you are a guest, you have to applaud and cheer like you're watching when you leave the show, like it is your like third graders talent show. Honey, you were fantastic. It was wonderful. Thank you so much for inviting me.
Yes, it's true. And I honestly, I am delighted that you went on this journey with me. Truly, who knows better the indignity of the podcast life than you, Riley Hopkins? It is a pleasure to know and work with you. Okay. Amendment 20. You can't say work with when you're talking about podcasts.
No.
Jesus Christ. There's work involved, but come on.
Like you said, we are artisans. We can't. The word creator has been soiled, and that's a shame because, like, we do create. I am partial to entertainer. I believe truly in my heart that is what I am. I am an entertainer. I take pride in that.
I am the guy who fucking yaps and fills space with words. That's, I think, that's my main sort of selling point. That's what I bring to the table. I was recently on a stream playing David Malky's new upcoming board game Bolted, which was really fun. Ooh. You should go to Kickstarter and check that out. Maybe it's a game you'd like to back. It's fun. The point being, though, I was asked at the end to plug my stuff. And I said for the first time something which, as I was saying it, I was struck by how true it was. Because I'm like, I'm plugging Anime Sicko's podcast. And I'm like, what's my next sentence? You know, how am I going to explain this? Am I going to do the fucking shtick? It's the podcast where Genius is the only podcast where I'm going to do that. No, what I said is, I'm plugging Anime Sicko's podcast. It's the podcast where I go on and on. Period.
Yeah, it's good. That's a good wrap up.
It's like, does that sound good to you? Tune in. Do you hate that? Don't.
Yeah, exactly. That gives you all the information that you need.
Anyway, we got to wrap up because it's 8:40 and I haven't had dinner yet.
Oh, go eat your fucking food.
This ruled. Bye-bye, everybody.
Yeah, fucking bye.
Thank you for listening to Anime Sickos. I've been Tom, a sicko. You can follow me on Blue Sky at Tom Harrison. Joe was also a sicko. You can follow him on Blue Sky at Sharia Uncle. You can follow Anime Sickos on Blue Sky at Anime Sickos, or email us at animesickos@gmail.com. You can give us money at patreon.com/Anime Sickos if you want. Please leave us a review or something. I don't know. Tell a friend. Anyway, until next time, bye.